Greetings. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for a Wednesday, the 22nd of April, 2026. Pastor Bob Joyce in Cabot, Arkansas, 1 month away. 1 month away. Tickets still available. We'll tell you how you can get them in a little bit. But Houston, we have a problem. My name is Jack Willard. About 10 minutes ago, I set up the live stream, as I have done so many times. But then, when I looked at the preview window, there was a white box with ... And I looked over at the chat, and it says, chat is disabled for the live stream. No explanation. Never happened before. I don't think I've done anything to make someone upset with me. I haven't heard from YouTube, so I don't know. I don't know if it's a problem that YouTube is having. It's not something that I can brainstorm and, find the answer to. I'm the talent. I'm the disc jockey who sat in front of a control board for years that was carefully constructed by a very talented engineer, and everything was labeled from the microphone to CD1, CD2, CD3. We were probably at some point in the 80s using a computer to go to the commercials and things like that. But anyway, everything was pretty simple to operate because they knew there would be DJs like myself that had no technical skill whatsoever. Now, when I say whatsoever, I could fade in and out of records. I had radio skills. I knew what made a radio show good. But in terms of if something was on the fritz, I'd call the engineer. Oh, we got a problem here. Sometimes they would try to talk me through it. And other times they would have to physically come in and do something. So the only way right now that I know for you to communicate with me is through my email, which I can't even type here, but many of you know it, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I can see there's 29 people watching and 4 likes. Again, I have no idea if this is a problem of YouTube, Google YouTube, or if there's some other reason. I have no idea what it could be about, just don't know. So it's going to make for a shortened show if I can't chat with you, because that's something that we like to do here on Worldwide Ramblings. We hear from people from as far as Cape Town, South Africa. We do hear from Australia. And we hear from, of course, across the United States. There's very few states that we've never heard from. I'd have to think about it, if I could even pick one. We've heard from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have. And we've heard from Maine. One of the creators had Iraq in their audience for their first live stream. How about that? You get Iraq. I don't know that I've ever gotten Iraq, but it's one of those things that it's not going to be so easy for my tech guy, Andy, because he's got this OBS. Well, you can go live on YouTube through OBS. Well, why would I go through all that when they have it all set up for me? Just press a series of buttons, answer a few questions. I wish I could ask a question, but answer a few questions. Is it for children? No, you got to press no, or it'll be, very limited, the video in its reach. I don't know how they do that, but, I learned that a long time ago. So here we are with no live stream. Chat is disabled for the live stream. And I noticed this in so many areas of tech, not just with YouTube, but with the directions that they give you for various platforms and what have you. Their directions are really terrible. All you need is sometimes is a button that says press this button and it'll solve the problem. But they don't tell you that. They explain things in a roundabout way, and I guess you're supposed to figure out how to actually accomplish what they want you to do. So I'm at a loss in terms of that. Let's go to the email. Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR, Jack the Fair Guy at uh, gmail.com. And we see chat on our end, do you? I'll open up Neo's email here. We see on our end perhaps a second browser or separate device to see the chat. You might as well have just told me this is how you're going to do this brain surgery. All right. You take this instrument right here and go in. See, never assume that whatever tech skills you have, Neil, I would have the same, and that would make sense to me as to what you just said. But I do appreciate you trying to help me out. Don't get me wrong. But perhaps open a second browser or separate device to see the chat. Oh, I've done that 1,000 times. Oh, man. This is why I so envy creators that have, uh, a guy running everything for them, just like in radio back in New York City in the 60s and 70s. The big DJs and the big stations were sitting across from an engineer who knew what they were going to do before they did it, what they were going to say. They just learned how to work with the big DJ when radio was really hot. So and there were various signals the DJ would throw at the engineer sitting right across from him. It was his problem to figure out what the heck that means. Perhaps open a second browser or separate device to see the chat. I'm assuming Neil, I have never done either of those things in my life. I've never done any of them in my life. I just come on here. It's very easy. We've been doing live streams since I think late 2022 now. Never had this happen. And I first time when I saw it happen, I X'd out and came back and started a second stream, and it was the same thing all over again. I have received no emails saying, well, you can't do this or you can't do that, or you're on a 30-day penalty or something, no strikes. And so I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. Um, Use your phone now. Here, Heather, Heather Feather. See, use your phone's YouTube to chat. There it is. Very good, Heather. Very good. Wouldn't have thought of that, but I can do it. I think. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'll see. Very good, though. Very, very good. See, that's something a simpleton like me, technically, can understand. Um, so we'll try that, Heather Feather. There I see myself right now. Bob Joyce live in Cabot, Arkansas. Yeah. And pray for Virginia. We got to talk a little bit about that.
The new Ashley Lux collection is
And
the
here's
drop your
my
home's been waiting
Ashley
for.
commercial.
The ultra plush boucle upholstery, beautiful wood bathed in a
Turn
French
down
oak
my
leather,
volume.
and striking
Okay. We'll skip that. And this is what I see so far. Nothing but me on top. I don't see a chat. What the heck is going on here? Is it an alien invasion? You see the chat. Why would I see it? That makes no sense at all. So you're able to see it. There it is. Second time trying. I see it. I see it. No need to tell us every time you have ads, Neo. It's really not necessary. Karen Phillips is first. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Neo, for trying, but you're giving me directions like I'm a techie. What's so easy for you, I have no clue what you're talking about. Karen Phillips is here, hijacking everyone. You know, Karen, I was thinking about you today because you come in very early, but you don't say too much, but you're here. So I have a theory, and it's just a theory, that Karen Phillips is really not Karen Phillips. Let me go back to my live stream where I can see myself. What if it were Willina? I just thought of that. What if it were Willina? Got so many photos here and some new ones we'll show you tonight. I just thought about that. That would be cool. Hi, Elaine Peterson. Welcome to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Neo. I see you there now. He's even telling us how many ads. That's a great way to start the show. I mean, it won't win an award for a provocative comment that adds to the mix, but should you have an itch on your nose, let us know about it, will you? Donna is here. Hello, Donna. Hi, Jack. Elaine from Spain. And Helen McDonald from Australia. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for the 22nd of April. Oh boy, it's been chilly here. It's about 48 right now. It's been getting into the 30s at night. I think it even got into the upper 20s one time. I had to heat the pad up for the cats again, and we have our little 11 p.m., 11:30 greeting, where I open up a can of cat food and they all gather around excitedly. And I grab it and reach the disc, which is covered in a spotted cover. And I'm going to put that in the microwave for 5 minutes and heat it up so a few of them can gather in there and share a warm pad in the cat house we have. But they have their others with straw and stuff next door. I've said that before, I realize. Hi, Jack and all from Australia. Hobdob is here. I know that. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, too. Very beautiful. You mean you're not Heather? Hobdob is not Heather? All this time, Heather Feather, I thought you were Hobdob. If this night gets any stranger, I'm going to have to check myself in for a checkup from the neck up down on the second floor of the Garnet Hospital. You know what I'm saying? If this night gets any stranger. Jerry Bridges is here. Hey, all from Tennessee. Oh, that's going to be a good state. That's going to be a good state. That's all I can say about that. At this juncture, let's see here. Neo, get check. Hooked up. Yeah, hook me up, brother. Can you hook me up? Can you hook me up? I just wonder why that is. I wonder who put the gremlins in my system. Donna's in Eastern Ohio. She says that. I don't know what it means, but she says it. Deborah McGinty. Good evening, Jack. Hi, Deborah. Deborah. If I'm going to say Barbara, I've got to say Deborah. Yeah. It's not Deborah, it's Deborah. And there is a way to spell it, Deborah. More people spell it Deborah than spell it Barbara. In fact, I don't know. Do you guys know anybody else besides Barbara Streisand that spells it that way? I don't know that I've known someone that spelled it that way, but there could be somebody famous that I'm like, like Barbara Fairchild, and she spells it the same way, and I'm not remembering that because how much of my life have I focused thinking about Barbara Fairchild? I probably heard a song at some point, so that's nice, but I couldn't tell you one of her songs. She's had no impact in my life at all, Barbara Fairchild. But I wouldn't put her down because she might have some stuff I just didn't explore. I just didn't taste of the cup of Barbara Fairchild, which is probably a good thing, or I'd have more divorces. Anyway, Nancy and in memoriam Terry Whitmore is here talking to Elaine Peterson. Yeah, I see that. Miles Wright is here. Hello, Judy Wright. Hijacking everyone. What's going on with you, Miles? Are you working this April? Are you looking through any estates and doing your appraisals and giving your input in what needs to be done, or just doing it because that's what you do? Someone's phone jack. Now I don't know what that means. Someone phone jack. Oh, well, Willina could call me. They technically have my number. I don't know if it ever got to Pastor Bob Joyce, but I made it available. I've never tried to do that where I directly try to contact him. He doesn't take those kind of messages, they say. Um, but I went to someone in the inner circle instead. But yeah, thank you, Heather. And you're not Hobnob. Cape Town. Tell me all about Cape Town. I'd love to know. If I were to be honest, what comes to mind when we think of Cape Town is a pretty place with very dangerous crime. Am I right? I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, a Hercules ad came in there. So I should at least be able to get that down there. Yeah. Virginia is in turmoil. I'm going to cover that, Neo. Yeah, I am. Glad you can see that now. Yeah, me too. That was a bummer. That was a bummer right there. Lived, past tense. You're starting to talk like a secret agent. You lived in Cape Town once. Not too many people can say they lived in Cape Town and now they live somewhere else. So that makes you even more interesting. You know, I'd like to hear that story. Jack, your phone is a device. I know that. So you could have said, use your phone like Heather Feather did. And I would have got that. But I thought you wanted me to put something on the second screen and, you know, that probably wouldn't do anything if the problem is on YouTube. You have sent me emails and maybe Facebook messages as well. But what does that prove, Neil? Um, you're in Virginia, huh? So did you vote no, I hope? Did you vote no? I don't really want to cover that yet, but soon. USA, 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 says Hobdob. For a long time, I thought you lived in Canada. Oh, so you're completely retired now, Miles. Tell us if you can. tell me in an email as well in further detail later on. It's a great feeling, isn't it? You don't have to be somewhere you may not want to be on any particular day. Even if you love what you do, you may not want to do it on a particular day. But now you got people to please. They're expecting a certain level of service. I mean, it's not totally different from what I do here. If I don't perform, if I don't have some level of service, the views go down faster. I'm going to say it again, Jerry Nadler on a seesaw. We know that, yeah. I'm gonna lay it out. Um, so that's cool. So there's 51 watching, 15 likes. Thank you. I didn't expect to have a beginning where I had no chat in front of me. Marianne is here. Is that Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi? Let me see. There she is. Hi, Jack and all. Good to have you here. So I don't think Karen Phillips is going to elaborate. She never does. So she's a mystery woman. She could be a secret agent woman. Maybe she's the new Agent 99. You know, maybe she is. I have an in person event Saturday. We'll promo it, Neil. Let people know exactly where you're going to be. How can they see you now when the Moonshiners are going to be out there? They just finished their last show of the season. You never know if it's the last show of the series because Discovery thinks about it for a long time. So then you will never hear the announcer, and they got a great announcer on Moonshiners, say, tonight on the final episode of Moonshiners. You'll never hear that because nobody knows yet. So I thought this would probably be the final episode that I saw last night because I thought, well, it's getting a little stale. I thought about this midway, and now I'm hearing people are leaving the show. A couple of people like Tim Smith, who was all over this season. It was a great season for Tim Smith, legendary moonshiner. I thought, well, he's leaving, they say, and I think at least one or two others are leaving, and they're not using somebody they used to use, and they're not using a lot of the pretty redhead, Amanda Bryant. They can't seem to fit her in, and I know the guys like her. So this could all lead to no season that will begin in early, probably the way it's going now, early 2027. So I thought that, and then it was time for what would be the last 4 episodes of the season. I know almost nobody cares about this. I realize that. But the last 4 seasons, you can see them all on Discovery Plus, for example. You can see all the episodes of every season, including season, I always forget whether it's 15 or 16. You just look for the last season. And to get to the last 4 episodes, they're some of the finest they ever did. There was drama everywhere. You can say, "Oh, that's fake, that's that's that," but I'll tell you, it was good TV. That's all I know. It was good TV for the last 4 episodes. So I think they made us save the show because they threw it with everything they had. They put everything they had into it, and it was very enjoyable, very enjoyable. Just when you think something is stale, they kinda brought it to life. Where is my BFF Gloria Drummond tonight? She usually comes in a little bit later, uh, if I remember. Oh, here's Tammy with an I. Hello, sorry I'm late. I just got home from church. Well, that's a great excuse. Now I'm seeing a picture of a pool that just blocked the comments. It's some guy cleaning out a pool from Yahoo. You never know. But I can just X out of that, and here you are again. Jay Pergera is here. Hi, Jack. Good to see you. Hugs. Hugs. Too bad you are not down here where I could help you with tech. Well, it can be done remotely, but I got to really trust that person. I got to really trust that person. I have to do a background check. Just kidding now. Um, let's see. Where do you live, Neil? I think he just said Virginia. I even know his real name, but I'm not gonna say it. But did you promo your event? Where can we see you? Where can we see you this weekend? So Moonshiners are gonna be this Saturday in Virginia. Culpeper, right? Is that right, Neil? Culpeper. Culpepper. They're gonna be at a farm down there from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This guy has been somewhat associated with Moonshiners. Not the whole cast. They're missing a few key people I'd really like to see, but Steve Tickle's going to be there with his wife, which was former his parole officer. And when he went in jail for a year for having a loaded gun in the back of the truck, it wasn't even to do with moonshine. That was the ironic thing. So Moonshiners was, they were at a loss trying to shoot around him. They brought a camera in once to talk to him. They let him bring a camera in, and they interviewed him in jail. But after that, we had to wait till he was walking out of the jail to resume Tickle on Moonshiners. He's a key player. I remember that season. I do. You're going to be at the Greenbrier Mall Saturday, April 2026, he says. April 25th, right? April 25th. You're going to be at the Greenbrier Mall. What hours are you going to be? Oh, 9 to 3. I see it now. I see it 9 to 3. And what can people expect? You're going to put on a show? Are you going to be selling things as well? What are you going to be doing, Neil? Are you bringing a truck, Neil? That's an interesting question, Jupiter's realm. It's out of the realm, but it should be if your name has the word realm in it. Let's clear the throat here. Huh. Now I forgot if I took my pill that Elaine is going to tell me not to take. I got to go to a pill box. You don't want to hear these things, Elaine. I know. You want me to stroke out by not taking my blood pressure medicine. You and Dr. Reese. You and Dr. Reese. You would get along fine with him, and you definitely think he was attractive. Check out Dr. Reese, Reese. The ladies love him. His audience is 90%. Is 90% female. He's got a book out on medical malpractice and stuff like that. It's a red book that sits behind him sometimes when he's at his home studio. Let's see. Can I think of a Dr. Reese example? There's been so many. Sometimes it'll be real short, like you just come on and say, this is all he'll say, and it gets hits. Are you still drinking soda? You wouldn't like that part, Elaine. Are you still drinking soda? Some of you comment that you don't like the way I talk. But many of you do. It's a great delivery that he has. He's right. He shouldn't change anything. A blood pressure of 100 over 60 used to be considered normal. Then they changed it. First to, what's the first number? 32 over 20. And you know why they did that? To make billions of dollars. Your doctor that you love so much, I'm adding a few words here, makes $300,000 a year, not to get you well, but to keep you dependent. He's a hoot. He's a hoot. You'd love him, Elaine. Trust me. If if you're checked out bald and broke, who doesn't even tell you his name, you'll like this guy even better because you would agree with some of the medical stuff he's saying, you know? So let's see. Thought I probably did, but I didn't bring them over here. Oh, here they are right here. I'm not a complete wreck. See what you're saying. Jack loved the acting. Well, I'm trying to do Dr. Reese. I'm not saying I'm doing him well, but if you watch him, you'll enjoy him. Kim is here? Where's Kim? I see Kim's name. I'm on the hunt for Kim Novak. If Dr. Reese were explaining Kim Novak, he would probably say something like, Kim Novak had the gumption to say she doesn't want Sydney Sweeney to play her on the screen. She actually said Sydney Sweeney wouldn't do it well. That would be enough if I were Sydney Sweeney to say, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it without her blessings, and I'm not doing it with her sending out word in advance that she doesn't want me to do it. So find somebody else. Sounds like a doctor I knew to listen to. I'd like to listen to. There's a heart in the way here. Why is there a heart? I can't get rid of it. Now I got all kinds of icons. Why did these things happen to me? I don't know. They're still there. Sounds like a doctor I need to listen to. When's the last time you heard a doctor actually cured someone? It's like Dr. Reese says, they prolong your life. It all depends on whether you want it prolonged. If you watch, for example, E.C. Stilson, she was supposed to be dead 2 years ago, but man, she goes balls to the wall, excuse the expression, with one treatment after another. A lot of it's chemo and other things. She has a pain pump inside of her. And her goal, more than anything, she'd love to live, like the rest of us to 100, but she knows that's not going to happen. Her goal is to see her kids grow up. And she's already lived 2 years past what they anticipated. But it is by very aggressive treatment, very aggressive, and a lot of, nightmare MRIs where they put kind of a steel mask almost on your face. And being in there for an hour, it's like, oh, my, what she does to stay alive. And then there's Sydney Toll. I was saying Towie, that's not right. Didn't have my glasses on. Sydney Toll, Towl. She has an aggressive, rare form of cancer, and she's only in her 20s. You see her all over Facebook. And she's also living way past life expectancy, and she goes through these treatments and what have you. And if she didn't do them, she'd be dead by now. I think we can say that. Sometimes it's just not going to work. Um, what's her name there? Was it Bradley Hutchinson or whatever? She was a nurse who found out she had stage 4 cancer. She lived, a few years, but, no matter what they did, they couldn't keep her alive. Evening, Jack. Haven't been around. I got sick for a few days. Doing better now. Just got off work. Well, thank you, Jody Smith. And also thank you, Jody Smith, for hitting the thanks button for $2. I appreciate that so much. I really, really do. Yes, it's me from New Jersey, right? Am I right? Am I right? Be down in Clark, New Jersey on the 17th of May for a polka show. I think that's the one that you were going to see your granddaughter or something, and you were first I thought you were going to come to the polka show. Then I realized you wanted me to go out and talk to you in the parking lot. That was kind of a downer because what if I missed a great moment at the polka show? I'd rather be in there enjoying the polka show with you there. But yeah, I remember that. So thank you, Jody Smith. If I miss your comments, it's wish I could get rid of those icons that are blocking the right of it. I'm sure it's so easy to do, but not for me, of course. There, I did it. I found the right button. Glad I'm still alive myself, says Neo. Why is that, Neo? Bold and Broke is very good. Is he not? Yes, he is. This is the funny part. I gave him some tips when I first saw him because he was, a lot of his views were not pulling a lot, 79 views or maybe a couple of hundred or whatever. And so I commented and I said, he was talking about trying to figure out what it takes to make it on YouTube. I said, "Well, the first thing is talent. The first thing is talent, and you definitely have it. You definitely have it." And talked about live shows and what you can do on a live show and how that can be a help to you because he has no pension. He makes a good salary, but he says he's going to have to work to his last breath. He couldn't pay off his mortgage. He must have bought the house very late in Westchester. He'd be 85 by the time he paid it off. So he's really looking to YouTube to make a secondary income, and to keep it going. And he would love it, of course, if he got the kind of views the biggies get, where he would be able to retire at some point from this job in New York City, where he deals with senior citizens and what have you, not as a home care or a nursing home healthcare aide, but I know he sells stuff. So he may be the guy who sells the latest bed and comes into the nursing home and shows you how to use it and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing some kind of equipment that he sells, but he goes to various hospitals and various nursing homes, and he's very good at describing the pain in his life, the disappointment, what it feels like in January, the emptiness of being in New York, the city in January. The bright lights have stopped, and there's a there's a depression that sets in. So check out Bald and Broke. Anyway, at the time, I think he had maybe already something like 6,000 subscribers plus. Guess what he's got now? 10,700 at the last I checked. I only have 11,400. I'm guessing by the time the summer gets here, if not before, he will overtake me. Because he's got an audience with a broader topic than Pastor Bob Joyce. I have the Bob Joyce audience, but something has to happen in that story. Whereas he's been able to pull in an audience with some heart to heart talks. He just looks at bullet points. He does most of them, although he has a home studio, he does most of them sitting in, as he says, his 10-year-old van. He's got great equipment. He thought that was necessary. And he says now he realizes he just needed a good phone. But I would say a studio is good too. you know, and he knows tech. He knows tech. He knows how to put in really nice thumbnails with him in it and write on them and what have you. And I have no knowledge of that. I haven't tried to challenge Andy to see if we could do a few of those, but I know a picture of Pastor Bob Joyce is going to always win out over me, of course. Still don't go live on YouTube. Can you? Or they're saying you don't have enough subscribers. Jack, you're hilarious. Why? Why? Tell me why. When we danced until 4, tell me why. You walked right out the door. Just not cured like a mummy. Just not cured. You want to be a mummy? Did you love your mummy? Did you love your mummy, Neil? He'll tell me something terrible, something sad or something. I do have a food audience. Yeah, that's true. Well, everybody loves food. That's like the acceptable sin in Christianity. Um, Alcohol. Oh, the devil's brew. I can quote you scriptures. I'm going to do a thing on it. It's going to be short. I got something I'm working on, and I may tape a few tonight. The juices are starting to flow again. It's been slow. It was bound to happen that I would, go into, they say, writer's block, well, Jerry Seinfeld said, there's no such thing as writer's block. There's fear and there's laziness, but there's no writer's block. That's what Jerry Seinfeld said, and I thought that was a pretty good quote. Yes, Elaine, we all hope we never need to go there. I volunteered in the nursing home. Some very sad things happen, but also some happy things. Yeah, I don't know how a nursing home in Australia would be different from a nursing home here in the States. But by the way, my competition, Helen, I don't know if Jackie is here yet. Who's our other Australia person we're not hearing from as much? I know there's a gentleman that I haven't heard from in a while from Australia, but he feels you're upside down. No, he doesn't. No, he feels that you would be upside down if the world was round, if the globe was round. So I'll have to look into that and see what a real scientist says, Just don't stake your videos on food. Neo. Oh, look at that rain. You can't hear it. The mic won't pick it up. It has to be like someone blaring a horn or something, or a loud fire truck or ambulance. But it is raining hard right now. It's raining men. And Elaine Peterson has one word to say about it. Hallelujah. Am I not right, Elaine? Let's see. That damn heart is in the way again. I have to wait. Yeah, we do have a food audience because that's gluttony is the sin that's most ignored. People will speak about, other people's sin, or say things are sin that aren't. But food passions, they got them just like all of us. And at what point do you cross? Where's the divide from loving food, having lots of opinions on food, to being a little gluttonous? Don't think I'm not preaching to myself on that. I am. So 51, yeah, 51 watching right now. And thank you, Jody Smith, for hitting the thanks button. Let's go to the emails. And Tammy with an I. Tammy with an I hits the Cash App for, I can't write it. Maybe I could write it here, right? I guess I could. She hits the Cash App for $25. Thank you so much, Tammy with an I, who just got back from a cruise. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And she's a hard worker, and she's got her own issues with pain and what have you. I won't go into detail, but she could share anything she wants. Um, and then there's our very faithful Elaine Peterson. I love tip on the Cash App for $10. We're way behind this month, so that's an extra blessing. I knew it would happen. Trying to get my creative juices flowing, realizing that outside of the Bob Joyce topic, it's going to be a challenge to get even 1,000 views, because the people that might care about what I'm doing won't get the notification that the video even exists. Now, let's see. Can I write that right here? I should be able to, right? Cash App. I try not to belabor the point, folks. I just hope we get the bare minimum every show. In March, my 70th birthday, we did better than that, and I thank you, as I have already done numerous times. I don't have merch. Should I get the bobblehead made? Actually made. They cut off the bottom. Google Photos cut off the bottom, which had the logo of the Virtual Church of the Disillusion. What can you do? They could have just moved that up a little bit, and that wouldn't have happened. You can't see it because Pastor Bob Joyce is covering the part up. That's lowercase letters. Media Guy 56. Let's see. Did that print? There it is. Cash App is lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Jack, yes, get the bobblehead of you. I'll buy it. Well, you just got to convince me that a bunch more people would buy the bobblehead. Then I would be motivated to find a bobblehead company, because that's Sean that made the prototype. Polka Sean. Where is he? Where is Polka Sean? See, I've got so many pictures at this point that I'm in disarray. I just saw it before we went to air. Let's look over into this pile. Thank you, Elaine. So that's it. Lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, $2, $5, $10 or more. If you can do it, that would be very much appreciated. Appreciated, he said. Live stream. Okay. Error. More than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the and then it goes away. Send one stream. So I think what this means is Andy may be streaming at the same time. I think that's what happened. So I'll message him. See. Here I am with Polka Sean at the Polka Fest in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. If you watch the video, there's like a 22-minute video of this. You'll see Polka Sean on the video. And we had such a wonderful time. Well over 800 people. Went to Ruth Chris Steakhouse before that. I gave you the review in our last live show of that. And he's the one who created the bobblehead. Let's see. Mr. Willie Loomis, our cat, relaxing here. Huh? He's just, I think he thinks he's human. Yeah, he likes for me to reach over from the recliner and tussle with him, and kind of push him over, and then he starts batting at me. We make sure his nails are clipped well. It's not very expensive, but we do that. Otherwise, I'd have scratches all over my hands. But that is his full name, like on Dark Shadows, is William Hollinshead Loomis. William Hollinshead Loomis. Anybody want to see any cheesecake? Someone will be offended if I show you Maggie Evans back when she was a young woman. So look away, Renee. Just look away, Renee. She's just wearing a bathing suit. But Catherine Lee Scott, Maggie Evans, Josette Dupre. We have a cat outside called Josette Dupre. We have one called Quentin Collins, all from Dark Shadows. But this is probably around the time, maybe just before she did Dark Shadows and she worked at the New Jersey Playboy Club. Around that time, I'm not sure. There she is. Someone will be offended. I'll probably lose a subscriber over that or two. I've just got so many to choose from. Sean Farish, right? Such a talented guy. Such a great, he's on a number of platforms, including YouTube. Does a great Trump impersonation, and sometimes he just talks in his own voice and shares. And he's a very smart guy, and he's very funny when he does Trump, but he also gets the point across that he's trying to make. I know you've seen this guy. Terrific. Look, it says Trump 2028. It drives them crazy. This is from the polka show in Pennsylvania on the 11th of this month. There is, from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with the long blonde hair, is Mr. Chris Caffrey, who lives not too far from here. Jimmy's got the red shirt on, and the great Frankie Joe Daigle Urbanowitz. He's got many names. Frankie Joe Daigle Urbanowitz, who plays the fiddle and sings a lot of the Jimmy songs. Fantastic. What a fantastic show that was. I got a 5x7 version of the collage of Elvis with his Germany girlfriend. Some people think it's Walina. Some people do. Lots of people do. Thousands of people do. I think that would be a correct statement. So here's the collage. What say you, audience? What say you? One thing's for sure, Walina has a long neck, and this woman here has a long neck. She was not Sigrid Schultz. She was not the woman who handled the Elvis fan mail over there in Germany. I don't believe so. Here's a real cute picture of Elvis with his Germany girlfriend. Sorry for the Scotch tape. It's obviously been hanging on my wall. I don't have a mall. Anybody wants to give me a mall? I don't know what I'd do with it because nobody goes to the mall. Well, they do, but you got to have all these kiddie games in there and stuff like that. Very few big stores. We still have JCPenney and we still have Macy's hanging on at the at the Galleria in the town of Wallkill. Who else do I have? I have Magda Rakosi and Sandor. That is Thayer David and Grayson Hall. Grayson Hall, I believe, won Best Supporting Actress in the movie Night of the Iguana. Night of the Iguana. But there they are dressed up as gypsies. Um, one of my favorite storylines on Dark Shadows. And it was so funny because after winning that Night of the Iguana Best Supporting Actress a few years later, she's not able to find work. She's just not getting a call. And they have an expensive New York City apartment. And her and her husband, who was a writer, he was having trouble too, finding writing jobs. And they're about a week away from closing it all up when her agent calls and says, "There's this show, Dark Shadows, and they found you, and they think it's not going to be a long role, but you're going to play a Dr. Julia Hoffman. You'll probably be killed by a vampire if you're ready for this, and but it's at least 6 to 8 episodes. Would you want to go down and audition for that?" Well, she ran down there. And it didn't take long for her to convince them that Dr. Julia Hoffman should stay around, as she did for the entire run of the series, and did many, many episodes. Maureen McCormick, that's that Texas movie she did where she played a bartender. Maureen McCormick will join the club I joined on March 21st. Maureen McCormick will be 70 years old in August of this year. Wow. Wow. Oh. Not Pastor Bob Joyce, for goodness sakes. Somebody puts that picture up on their Facebook group. It's one of the 4 or 5 pictures they have up on the front page. And if you don't know that that is not the man who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith, you probably shouldn't have a group on Facebook. And here is the Germany Girlfriend with Sigrid Schultz. Some people say the Germany Girlfriend was Sigrid, but no, I believe it's the one next to her. But they all knew Elvis. Sigrid, whoever the Germany Girlfriend is, and whoever that girl is next to them. I don't know her name. Anybody know her name? And there's Elvis looking away. Pastor Bob with one of his birthday cakes. Eh? Yeah. Was there any clues on that one like there was the year prior to that? When he was turning 88 and there's 88 on his birthday cake? Hey, he's only supposed to be, 72 at that point or something. Miss Willina and her husband, Pastor Bob Joyce. I believe that now. I've struggled with that. I know he doesn't wear a wedding band. Guess what? A lot of men they feel funny with that thing on their finger. That's all I can tell you. And I'm not telling you because they're going to an entertainment bar. I'm saying that they just don't like jewelry on their fingers. I would wear mine when I needed to, but not every day when I was pretending to be a peace officer for 19 years. And Matt Joyce is in there too. Willina's son. See how I said that? See what I did there? Here's Matt Joyce's father, Robert Wayne Joyce. Robert Wayne Joyce. There he is. He didn't transform into that man, in my humble opinion. What say you, Auntie Roo? All right. Let me see what you're commenting on. I've lost the chat. There you are. Hey, here's Gloria Drummond. Welcome, 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 Gloria Drummond. How are you? Gloria Drummond is here. Very nice. Lovely Rita Maid is here. I'm using, if you're tuning in late, I have no chat in front of me on the screen. I don't know why. I think it could be because Andy is streaming at the same time. I think that what could be blocking me. So I'm going to email him on the phone here. But hi, Rita. I hate the ads too, Elaine. I don't know what that symbol is, Neo, in front of wonderful. I've seen it before and I don't know what it means. Hey there, Andrea. I thought you were Andrea. I'm all confused. By you, girl. Well, look at that, Deborah McGinty. God bless you. And beautiful orange. You know I love orange. My car is orange, for goodness sakes. Deborah McGinty hits the thanks button right there. I guess you have to press ask first. And then it leaves the thanks. Replay crowd, appreciate it if you could do the same thing for any amount. And Deborah McGinty hits the thanks button for $20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This could get us up to a bare minimum level for the month of April. And some of it's my fault because, you know, when you feel that the juice is drying up, you don't want to rush forward. You got to think about what you're doing, and then the inspiration starts to come again, you know. And if there's development in the Bob Joyce story, that's always good. But I think my critics who say, "Oh, you're never going to give it up," or "How's that going? That you're going to do less Bob Joyce?" I have done less Bob Joyce, and I've suffered because of it. But you know, Saturday night when we did a pop on to pop off instead of worldwide ramblings. Didn't say too much about Bob Joyce. He wasn't in the title. He wasn't in the thumbnail, and it didn't get 1,000 views. Watch that, please. So thank you, Deborah. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for $20 on the thanks button. $2 is also wonderful. Jody Smith, dollar, whatever you can give, it all adds up into the what'll be the May 21st installment. A lot of things going on. Let me be cryptic for a while, then I'm going to talk about Virginia. Jack, while I was laid up sick, not to mix politics with religion, I think it's okay. And it's especially good. I'm going to tell you a little secret, Jody. If you start the ball rolling, then I've got to comment on it. I'm not going to go on and on and on because I know there are people who don't want any. And I'll do that in a separate video. And unless I can find an audience for it, I'm going to be, you know, getting minuscule views. But you still got to try. You still got to try to find the people that would care, you know? Because we're living in this crazy world. You got to comment on it. It scares me when people don't want to think about it. But of course, if you're in another country, it's a whole different world. And I'm very curious about your politics, to be honest with you. I'm curious about what you face. That's why you're free to comment, you know. I pass the building in Clark 2 or 3 times a week, Jack. So you get your butt in there Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m., and you come for the whole show. Inside, not out. I mean, Clark is very pretty. It's very pretty. The green grass. I was quite impressed. Because we always leave a little early. I say 2 to 6 is where he's going to be there, but I say 2 to 5 is what we're probably going to be there because they're very busy people, Polka Sean and Polka Norma. They both got to be up early in the morning. You know, I understand that. We're riding with them. If that should work out, I'll drive if I have to, but we're most likely riding with them, and I understand. So we'd love to see you down there on that Sunday. Tickets right there at the door. Pretty big place. Tickets right there at the door. We probably won't get tickets. I have baked cheesecake. Are you trying to make me hungry? I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to make it so that when I do see my cardiologist and my GP, they don't look at me as I come in the door and say, "This guy, we put him on Ozempic and he still can't lose weight." Too bad you are not in Virginia, Elaine. He wants everybody in Virginia. It's a beautiful state. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, and it'll be brief because I may say some of these things in a pre-recorded video, which will be short. They're going to be short videos when I do these things. I'm going to be talking about everything from KFC to politics to religion, etc. My right eye is blurry, so is Karen, or maybe hurts her left. So forgive me if I miss comments. Yeah, the doctor, the optometrist said there's not really too much you can do about what you have. There's not too much you can do about it. I think she has floaters and stuff like that. In fact, I know she does sometimes. Well, you're brand new and you live in Cabot, Arkansas, huh? All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what you have to do because there's still the VIP tickets for $100 are sold out for Bob Joyce in concert. It's May 22nd, a Friday night. Let's go to bobjoyce.org. There it is. I got it up already. We're going to play a little excerpt from his Sunday sermon. Pastor Bob Joyce benefit concert. It's a benefit concert Friday evening, May 22nd, to benefit the ABC FM. That's the Arkansas Baptist Children and Family Ministries at the First Baptist Church of Cabot, Arkansas. More details and ticket purchases can be found at, and they give you the link, which is in part donorbox.org. But there's a lot more to that link. So just go to bobjoyce.org and you'll be able to click right there and go to order tickets. So the preferred seating was closed out by early February, but it's a big church and there's no bad seats, so don't worry. General admission tickets, $50 for the benefit concert, are still available. All right. So if I were you, there'd be no doubt that I was going to go to that concert. Okay. He's giving 3 concerts that we know of this year. We'll see what they are and what have you. But the first one is May 22nd in Cabot, Arkansas, which is what, about, you tell me, 22 miles outside of Little Rock, something like that. So if people fly into Little Rock, they're going to have to find a way to get to Cabot. How would you suggest they do that? I imagine an Uber 22 miles will, but if you're all pooling together, it could be affordable that way. The ABC FM benefit concert with Pastor Bob Joyce, the 22nd of May, First Baptist Church, Cabot, Arkansas, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. All right. So, yeah, cool. I had never heard of Cabot, Arkansas. And one of the first promos, I said Cabot, Maine. Why I did that, I don't know. I don't know that Pastor Bob has a big audience in Maine, but a few of my viewers are from Maine, and they would certainly probably go, if they're able to, if they, people have various limitations. Oh, you're just kidding. So you're a jokester. So now my antennas have gone up. Okay. I know a lot of people here see about getting the free pass. So now 45 northeast of Little Rock. Okay. 45 miles. I didn't think it was that far because I remember I checked the do a Google search, And I'm sure there are plenty of hotels right there, but if you're going to fly in, Here's Brenda Sweeney, mother of Sydney Sweeney, Hey, Jack and gang. Did not work. It did not work on the torn rotator cuff. You mean for PT? Did not work on torn rotator cuff. So now an MRI. Still in a lot of pain. Please keep me in your prayers. Please. Okay. There's a lot of motels in Cabot. All right. So pray for Brenda Sweeney, who's in a lot of pain, and she's got to figure out what to do about this rotator cuff. It's not something that, it's not going to reattach if it's torn in the PT class as you take the big ball and lift it over your head and stuff like that. I can't see that. Can't see that working. Just going back here to see if I missed anybody. Oh, here's Kobe Woodard, not Dr. Woodard from Dark Shadows, Arkansas. Yes, it's in Cabot, Arkansas, somewhere between 22 miles and 45 miles outside of Little Rock. So let's see here. I'll type that in. $26.2 miles. So I know I had seen that. 26.2 miles. Take about 29 minutes in a car. If you walk, it's going to be longer. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I just had to click on that one thing that Google has. Is Cabot, Arkansas predominantly white? Yes. Oh, dear. What are we in South Dakota here? It's interesting. But tickets are still available. bobjoyce.org, bobjoyce.org. And you want to go to bobjoycemusic.com for exclusive content, including the blog. The blog is up now at bobjoycemusic.com. It may not be in George Magazine, but he has a blog at bobjoycemusic.com. We'll be talking about that, but not in this particular show. Let's see here. All right. So, Rita will pray for Brenda and Joe. Minor tear could possibly heal. Full tear would need more work done. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Good night to you, and thank you for hitting the thanks button for $20. It helps me. Just need a few more people to do it, and we'll get to the bare minimum for this month. And there ain't much month left. There ain't much month left. Joe is better, but he needs prayers. He is in cognitive decline, aren't we all? But I know what you're saying, you know. There are weird things that happen to me, like pronouncing the word euphoria, forgetting the word sushi. Most stuff I'm okay with so far, so far. So, Neo lives in Virginia, and they had that special, um, vote. It's, uh it's tough when a lot of, purple people or downright progressives have moved into the beloved state of Virginia from New York and other places, you know, and, they start to, change the state. I mean, how could Jasmine Crockett, um, ever have been elected in, Houston, Texas? How could that be? How could that be? She is all for herself. She's got a filthy mouth. She doesn't represent Texas family values, in my opinion, in any way, shape, or form, yet she got elected. Well, thank God, come January 20th, she will be out of Congress. Her run for the Senate was not successful by a good stretch. But, this vote to gerrymander Virginia, um, people came out in force, and it was so close. It was just something like, um, at one point, a half a point or so away. It was like 45.7, no, don't do it, to 50.3. That was one figure that I saw, and there was still Fairfax County that had not been counted. So I prayed and hoped that it would change, and because you had Governor Youngkin out there uh, uh, actively campaigning against this gerrymandering. It's different what they did in Texas because there's much more of a Republican presence there, and they weren't being represented properly. That was a lot more fair than what we see in the state of Virginia. What they're trying to do, excuse me, what they're trying to do is make it, of course, so that the House is lost in the Congress, and then they will spend millions of taxpayer dollars on trying to impeach President Trump and may well get an impeachment trial, depending on what happens in other states and stuff. But this is going to be hard to overcome. It's going to be hard to overcome. So, they won't in the end get the two-thirds majority that need to, throw the president out of office, but they will waste millions of dollars of taxpayer money. So a judge in Virginia said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, this whole thing is illegal. This whole thing is illegal," and he stops it, puts an injunction out. There are still some great judges out there. So now it's gotta go to the appeals court and what have you. Could go all the way to the Supreme Court, and we'll just have to see what happens, but pray for that. Pray for that because, it would, give an unfair a totally unfair advantage when you compare what the reality was in Texas with Governor Abbott to what happened with Governor Spamberger, who to me is, I mean, these people are a brood of vipers that don't love America, have their own agenda, and we hope we can hold this back. Now, that's about all I'm going to say about this because I know on Worldwide Ramblings, it's not really the right forum. People want to have a good time and what have you. Um, there are so many things going on in our world that we can comment on and need to, but not in this forum. Not in this forum. It's very hard to get an audience when you go to a different subject and you don't have the audience that's going to follow you into it. There will be loyal viewers that will, but it'll come out to like 2 or 300 of the whole mix. Just because you have 11,400 subscribers doesn't mean they're watching all the time, obviously. You have to hit a video that they're gonna wanna click on, and I can tell you from what I've been doing, that topic is going to have to be Pastor Bob Joyce. And we've got some exciting stuff coming up this year. We've got some exciting stuff coming up. So we shall see. Other pictures to show you. I think I've showed you Elvis Presley was big fan and friends with the late Wink Martindale, who lived to a ripe old age. That's a great picture of Elvis, don't you think? And Wink Martindale. I think Elvis knew a good man when he saw one, and that was Wink Martindale, who kept his looks and kept his voice and to the very end. Wink Martindale. Another picture of Soldier Presley and the Germany girlfriend. So cute, so cute, so cute. So it's not this person, right? I mean, she's cute too. Don't get me wrong. She does have a long neck. She may have just, I don't know. What do you say? I'm on the fence about that could possibly be her as well. But the dates don't line up. The dates don't line up. So Houston, we have a problem. And what else? See, in this photo here, they're indicating that it's Sigrid Schultz in both pictures. Young Sigrid, the Germany girlfriend, and Sigrid grown up. Of course, it's a different car and everything like that, but that's what they're trying to say. Here comes Brad. And of course, we've shown Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage with Pastor Bob Joyce. And I guess that's not Sabrina's husband. I got that wrong. There is Miss Willina and Matt Joyce. $9.99 a month, and you can subscribe to exclusive content at bobjoycemusic.com. bobjoycemusic.com. Go there right after the show and sign up. Videos, his blog, and so many other little extras they throw in there. LWC Media, bobjoycemusic.com. They're always putting up new stuff. Not Bob Joyce. Not Bob Joyce. And that's a wig for sure. Sexy Elvis. You want sexy Elvis, Elaine? I'll give you sexy Elvis. The pictures are now becoming crazy. I'm surrounded with pictures. More came in the mail today. All right, Elaine, sexy Elvis. One of the finest men that ever hit the planet. Bob Joyce looking dapper. And Bob Joyce to the left and to the right, where he does look like he could be 91 years old. There you go. Oh, so many people say that, but they don't realize that with certain things that you can do and very bright lighting and what have you, the man in the middle, I don't believe is the man who preaches every Sunday at Household of Faith. I'm willing to be corrected, but I don't see how. I don't see how. All right. Let's see what you're saying in the comments section. So we did cover Virginia. Elvis is a looker for sure. I knew you'd like that. He's a heartthrob, says lovely Rita May. Susan Ashok, definitely. We need a date, right, Elaine, says Rita. Ads again, says Helen from Australia. Happy Earth Day, says Neil. Really? Never heard anybody say that all day. I watched Fox News. They didn't say it was Earth Day. Oh, but that's a Fox. They wouldn't do it. They don't care about the Earth. So that's why. And they believe in the round Earth. Here's Michael Hembry from, where the heck are you again? I know you told me, but I can't think. Hi, Michael. How's it going? More ads than usual today. Yeah. I don't see them, you see. I don't see them. So I don't see them to the replay. It seems like the first time I watch my replay, I don't see many ads until like halfway through the ads start. And then if I watch it a second time, I see more. Now, what restaurant are we talking about, Elaine and Gloria? Gloria, yes, in agreement. They really make this food so delicious and addictive. Yeah, that's the plan, to make it addictive, especially fried chicken and cheesecake. What restaurant are we talking about here? I'll go back a little further. Yes, pray for Brenda Sweeney. Neo says about Virginia, they were ahead until Northern Virginia mail-in ballots at a oddly specific number. Well, I think they'll probably look into all this. Believe me, the Republicans are on this, and now we have a judge that's stopped the decision, and we'll see what happens. If Northern Virginia was a separate state, Virginia would be red. If Western New York was a separate state, New York would be red. Well, at least Western New York would be. Yeah, I had thought it was in the 20s, the mileage. So let's not scare people away thinking, oh, 40 some miles. Well, you know the old saying, Neil, about money. I have more month left than money. More month left than money. But I did a really good thing not going to Poker Weekend as much as I wanted to go, because there are other considerations for sure. And it would have been hard to recover if I had done that this year. But Polka Sean and Norma had a wonderful time. And so we knew they'd be coming home, and we knew about when they would be headed home. They don't live too far from us. They live on the outskirts. I mean, for them to go to the supermarket, it's 8 miles, 10 miles, But they often come by here on Saturday morning, and they always wave. And of course, we're sleeping. We don't know. Oh, we always wave when we go by at 6:37 a.m. on Saturday. It's got to be real important for me to be up at that hour. But I get a text from Polka Sean at about 1:30, 2:00 Sunday afternoon. Polka Weekend is now over. Or was it 2:30? Because they have the closing ceremony, the final lunch, final little concert from Jimmy. They bring the equipment upstairs to the dining room, some of it. And so it was after 2:00, well after 2:00, and I got a text. The text said, "We'll be there in 30 minutes. Put your pants on." That was what Polka Sean said. Well, I already had my pajama bottoms on, because it was one of those Sundays where we were not going to leave the house. It was cold, and it was just one of those Sundays. So Sure enough, they showed up, and I knew they weren't gonna come in because I know they are so tired, and they gotta be up early, and they got 5 days of work coming. It's not all party time, but, they hand me, a takeout thing, and, Karen was out there on the porch, and I opened it up. I didn't know what it would be, and it was full of oatmeal. Villa Roma Resort makes this wonderful home cooked oatmeal, and it was a big tub of oatmeal, and they were supporting it with a cardboard piece of cardboard underneath, and said, "Be careful how you hold it." And sure enough, it was the oatmeal that I love so much and regretted missing at poker weekend. So it wasn't long after they left. I was enjoying a bowl of oatmeal, as was Karen. And I thank Polka Sean and Polka Norma for the oatmeal from Villa Roma. Absolutely terrific. Yeah. There's 60 watching right now. Please subscribe, like. We only have like 39 likes. Hit the notification bell. That would be swell. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. That helps more people see what we're doing here. I think tomorrow there will be my first pre-recorded video in a number of weeks released. So it's not a video I really plan to do. It is on the Bob Joyce topic, but when somebody else is keeping it alive, I have to respond because the truth is the truth, and you can't tell a quarter of the story and have it be an accurate representation. You just can't do it. So there you go. I don't want to hide Karen's beautiful face there. And there we are at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. On the 11th. They had brought me a little dessert there. Didn't ask for it, but they did. Said happy birthday written in chocolate. There's Karen's wine. And she's looking at her phone. So there you go. Very nice. Very nice. Could use a steak. Well, as I say, Texas Roadhouse is the bomb in terms of having a steak out for me. We're going to talk food, getting hungry. I know how. I was starving by the last show last Wednesday when we did this. I go down to do the dishes and feed the cats and heat up the pad if it's cold enough, and I think it'll be cold enough tonight. I hope that'll be stopping soon. Carol Cook, hi Jack, from Fort Erie again. Cool. Heading to bed to watch you on TV. Well, hey, baby. Cell phones charging in kitchen. Hope you're well tonight. God bless you, Karen, and everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Not supposed to eat late night. That's the thing, though. That's the rule. I wish I could go to dinner with Elvis. I thought he passed away in 1977. What are you, one of those conspiracy theorists? Jack smiling like a Cheshire cat. Oh, in the photo from Ruth Chris, right? Yeah, I know what you mean, Susan. Rare. Oh, we don't want it too rare. Pretty soon you're going to get like Hannibal Lecter. He liked it very rare. Hannibal Lecter did. By the way, I had no idea what Euphoria was all about. I mean, the TV show that's on HBO Max. So excited to get HBO Max. There's a few other things that we wanted to check out, thank God, because Euphoria is Oh boy, it's a rough watch. No, my ears are not garbage cans. The language and there's two different stories going on. The one with Sydney Sweeney is getting her a lot of flack. They're saying, can Sydney Sweeney do anything that is not overly sexualized? And they might have cut out the scene from episode 2. Um, they might have cut it out. I'm not sure, but she's getting a lot of flack. And you know, great actors in the show, but um, no redeeming value, no redeeming value whatsoever. So yeah. ShopRite, where I got the 250 bag. I go back to get more, and they were all gone. And I said, "Did they really sell out?" They said, "No, we put them out way too early. Corporate was mad. We weren't supposed to put them out this early. They'll be coming back, though." That's the word that I got. That's the word that I got there. I'm not really a big Yankees fan anymore, but let's support the team. Maybe they'll do something good this year. But it doesn't mean as much as it once meant to me when I was going to Yankee Stadium with my son once in a while and watching the games at home with him. And that was a team in the 90s that was so special, so special. So, but I put the bag up anyway. So there you go. Are you subscribing, liking, hit the notification bell? Please hit the thanks button if you can for a few dollars so we can make up the deficit that we have here in the month of April. I don't drink, but I'd have a glass of wine with Elvis. And there's nothing wrong with having a glass of wine. I wouldn't drink in front of kids, though. I wouldn't drink if I was going to be driving. I've learned that that's not the thing to do. Take a taxi if you have to. But drinking a glass to relax you from time to time. But if you have an addictive personality, beware. There's a lot of don'ts to it, and I realize that. But I'm not going to make the Bible say something that it doesn't say because I don't like it. I just have to be very clear about that. I'll do a little video on that, but it's not geared to anybody because I felt this way for years. I mean, David Wilkerson had a book called Sipping Saints. He also disliked and said it was not good to listen to all contemporary Christian music. I think he changed that opinion at least before he was killed in a car accident. But he had a vibrant ministry in New York City with the Times Square Church. Um, you can see it in the eyes more if you're talking about Elvis, or who we think may be Elvis in 2026, because we're those crazy fringe people. um, it all comes down to the eyes. Oh, he looks like Kenny Rogers. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You're just not a perceptive person. So I think I've caught up. Good night, Michael. Sorry for you. I missed that comment. Good night, everyone. Getting over a death. Got a lot on my mind. God bless you and good night. I see. I don't know whose death that was. His eyes definitely show it. Colton Callahan. Bob Joyce. Well, what about Bob Joyce? I think I see your picture there. Colton Callahan. I love that name. That's a good broadcast name. Be a good name for someone with a platform of some kind. You can't say radio disc jockey anymore because it's hard to find a radio disc jockey. Sorry for your loss, Michael, says Rita. Oh, yeah, if you can't control yourself. It's funny, I do have an addictive personality, but alcohol never had that effect on me. I'm happy with having a drink 3, 4, 5 times a year, usually just one. Um, have it early on before the meal, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, no, it's done a lot of destruction. I understand all that. You still can't get to the place where you're changing what the scripture says. Yes, I do believe that the strength of the alcohol back in those days was much less than it is today. But then you think of the wedding feast of Canaan when Jesus, they had already been drinking the wine, and he condoned and provided more wine, and it was the best wine. What is best in the terms of wine mean? Just the taste? Maybe not. So there is that. There is that. And you can't take that out of the Bible. You can't take all the grace scriptures out. You've got to kind of balance them with the judgment scriptures. And believe me, I know that there are some scary judgment scriptures. What's a great pick? So I'm glad you're here from Fort Erie again, and you're watching on your television. Here's Nonstick Pam. I don't have. Oh yeah, I wanted to email Andy and see if he's streaming. Um, Abuse to gluttony level is the issue. Well, yeah, but how many people have really gotten to being a little gluttonous, you know? Hi, Jack. Just got here. Didn't get a notification you were on tonight. Oh, well, that's probably because something's on the fritz here, and I'm using my phone to read the comments. So let me see if Andy is streaming or was streaming. Maybe he'll answer me. And we're going to play an excerpt from Pastor Bob Joyce before we close out tonight. Let me see. See if he answers me. Oh, let's have wait me whistle a little bit. Interesting. Did other people get a notification? Because quite a few people found me fast, and I know this we're usually here on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. East Coast time, US of A. He says, no, internet seems good tonight. No, he says he wasn't streaming because he gets notification on his computer, the other side of the building, exact opposite of where I am, the second floor. And he would get notification. That would be a reminder to him not to try streaming then because it could mess me up, you know. So let me go back now to my channel, as that's the only way I can see your comments tonight is via my phone, via Las Vegas. Ha 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 ha. I don't know why Tucker is intent on blowing up his entire career. I just don't know. Now he's apologizing for being pro-Trump. He reads the CNN news poll that President Trump still enjoys 97% to 100% of MAGA support. And then he proceeds to ignore that and make it sound like, gee, I'm so sorry that I didn't teach you that it wasn't the right thing to do because he doesn't believe, he believes in isolationism, it seems, and can understand that it's a good thing to eliminate uh, the capability of Iran to have a nuclear weapon that they could use to destroy Israel and then shoot towards the United States. And God knows how much they could destroy there, including California. um, that you just can't let that. So we have clips from the last four presidents saying that they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's a very serious threat and everything. And then it gets to President Trump and said, I'm going to do something about it. I'm not just going to make a stupid comment. I'm going to do something about it. And so that's what he sets out to do. And he knew that it would send gas prices up for a while, but anybody that knows Trump knows they're going to be coming right back down and it won't be that long. He's going to definitely try to get it before November. So there we are. 61 watching. I am with my president in Israel. Me too, Pam. Me too, all the way. Christians are commanded to support Israel. The fact that he tries to separate it and makes the statement that he had to apologize to Mike Huckabee, who, what a terrible time for poor Mike Huckabee to have to deal with him in the interview. But to say, I do have to apologize for saying I hate Christian Zionist. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. Covey Woodard, maybe Tucker got paid well for the switch. Oh, so you're a woman, Kobe. I always think you're a guy. Um, no, if there's one thing I know about Tucker is he wants to be popular and he's nosediving his own plane. He's already got money. He came from a rich family, you know. He's got a beautiful home in Maine where he seems to want to hang out most of the time, and he's got a beautiful home in Florida, you know. And until recently, everything was going pretty well. You know, he had a lot of sponsors and stuff. I don't know how that's affected, but according to a CNN poll, and they're the ones that have Trump riding high with a 97 to 100% favorability with MAGA. Of course, we know the progressives hate him. The poll has the Tucker was like a 54% favorable rating before the convention, and now he's down to 7%, 4%, 7%. Does he not realize that the majority of his audience were Trump lovers, MAGA people? Who does he think was watching? You know, I named some high ratings liberal commentators, but there really aren't any. I mean, they don't get anywhere near the views of the conservatives. So, I don't think he will, Neo, change his name. But I love Tucker, and I'm so sorry that this is happening. I missed him so much when he left Fox, and I think that was a better format for him because he wouldn't go crazy, go nuts, you know. Um, all of a sudden, he had to compete against Candace Owens, who's being sued now by the Prime Minister of France, Macron, and his wife. You think she'll have to prove that she's not a man in court? Just a thought that went through my head. So I think we've pretty much caught up there. Let's go to a clip because we're going to be winding down from Pastor Bob Joyce, the sermon on Sunday. Our counselor knows us best. Our counselor knows us best, April 19th, 2026.
Until that day. Until that day. He walks with us in spirit. He talks to us through this book. And he opens the mouths, all of our mouths, to speak forth his words in a dark world. Thy word have I hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Lord, David said, check me, try me, inspect me, look deep into my heart, and see if there be any evil way in me. Cleanse me, oh God. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. He is our counselor. We have a principle of life. We have a way to go and a way to live, and he has shown us the way. We all are alike. We're all living in the same world. And every single one of us need direction. You may say to me, well, Brother Bob, everything's going pretty good for me. Going pretty good. No matter how good it's going, you need direction in your life. The best thing I know in life is to know that the Lord has set me upon this path in which I walk. It's not going good because I made it happen. Life is not good because I learned how to save money. Or learn the markets. Learn how to invest. Things are not going good because I've got a great education. Because I'm smart. Or anything else. It's not going good because finally things is working out for me. Yeah. But in a couple of weeks, we'll see what you're doing then. We'll see what happens then a couple of weeks from now. A couple of months. How's it going there, bro? Well, when I saw you last time, man, you were just doing so good. Well, I know. I said, well, what happened? Well, everything is going good because he has set my direction for me. I want you to get that. Everything's going good because Jesus is walking with me and everything's all right. As long as I know that Jesus is with me, everything's going to be all right today. Today's going to be all right because my counselor is with me. So look out, don't mess with me. My attorney's with me. And if I can't handle it, he can.
Pastor Bob Joyce from last Sunday at Household of Faith on Samples Road in Benton, Arkansas. Doors open at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. for the service. Get there early. Warm weather is here. I know it's already warm out there, although they've had some rainy, cold weather in Texas, so that probably means Arkansas too. Goes back and forth. You just can't predict it anymore, you know. But that is Pastor Bob Joyce. Hey, here's Nancy. Kenny Rogers don't sound like Elvis. Well, that's for sure. They had very distinctive voices, both of them. And no, but that's what people say. The guy from Australia that was on the porch last week, who I'd never met before in my life, a friend of Brad, and he lives here in New York now, not too far in Port Jervis. And I showed him the picture, and he said, that looks more like Kenny Rogers, just like Jimmy Kimmel said, you know. But with his political beliefs, which I knew that he espoused because I heard just a little bit before I came down and found them on the porch. Wasn't surprising to me that discernment was not one of his gifts. But Elaine says, I love egg drop soup. Kind of like warm snot, isn't it? Let's see. Ramen noodles have bugs. Julia Joyce is here. Hi, Julia Joyce. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on Worldwide Ramblings. So Jackie and Helen hooked up there. And along with Elaine Peterson and Tammy with an I, Nanette hits the Cash App for $10 for Love, the Funko Pop pick. The Funko Pop pick. I wonder which one that was. Which one was that, Nanette? Can you tell me in the email? Because I don't think you're going to want to tell me another way. She's sort of incognito. So thank you very, very much. Cash App handle. We're trying to reach our minimum goal for November. For April. Our Cash App handle is lowercase letters Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY, the numbers 56, Media Guy 56. If you can do that, whether you're here live with us or in the replay, I would very much appreciate it. There you go. I see that note, Tammy with an I. I see it. What's Neo saying? Oh, new picture, huh? Oh, that's cool. Let's see if we can get that, Neil. That'll be a thumbnail at some point. The work of Neo. That's great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. All right. And we're seeing comments on my phone tonight because we can't get them on the screen here for some reason. Gave some kind of explanation and it was gone so fast and I wasn't sure what it meant anyway. I'm waiting for the comments to load there. So, let's close with a word of God, prayer reminders. 1 John chapter 4 in the NIV. Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. This is how you can recognize the Spirit of God. Every spirit that acknowledges that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God. But every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God. I don't think this means whether you ask them the question, whether they believe in Jesus, because they would just say yes. Oh, yeah. You want me to say that? So, yeah. No, I mean, if you see it by their example that they acknowledge Jesus Christ and they're not pushing a whole bunch of a man-made evil philosophy. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard is coming and even now is already in the world. That's an interesting verse because already in the world then? Interesting. Some things I know and I can expound on, and some things I don't. You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. That's from 1 John, the 4th chapter. Please pray for Brenda Sweeney, who's got that problem with the rotator cuff, and she'll be going for an MRI. And Christari's in pretty bad shape. You know, she's got many issues, including with the brain and what have you. Pray for Carolyn Mullins, also dealing with some problems right here. We just lift them up to you, Lord. We lift each one. A lot of unspoken needs here. You know who they are and what their needs are, and we pray that you touch them. I pray for those needing a special hand from you. I pray for protection for my children, for my grandchildren, each one, for my relationships past and present, past and present. Just ask for your divine power to take them under your wing, to heal them, to love them, to let them know how much you love them. We ask that in Jesus' name. Now I'm not even getting the comments on my phone. Isn't that funny? So thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll try to figure this out before Saturday night, but expect a pre-recorded video. So have your notification bell on. Please subscribe. If you're here and you haven't subscribed, please do. Let's get that number up. Please hit the notification bell. If you can't, hit the thanks button or the Cash App. Any amount is fine. It all helps us out. So I've lost all comments here. Oh, well. I Thank you so much for watching Worldwide Ramblings for this Wednesday night, the 22nd of April, a little after 11 o'clock now. And pray for our country. If you're here in the United States of America, there's a brood of vipers. And what we knew once as the Democratic Party is either completely silenced by progressives or, they don't have the guts to speak their mind as they watch their own party be destroyed. And of course, we that would call ourselves conservatives, we need a touch from God. We need to walk a closer walk with Jesus. And we need to earnestly pray for this country and for the world, because what happens here affects the world. So wherever you are, I hope you have God's peace in your heart, that you've received him as your personal Lord and Savior, that you got away from the hustle and bustle and just said what needs to be said, that you confess with your mouth Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father, that you believe God raised Jesus from the dead, that you want to receive the gift of Jesus as the blood of Christ washes over you and cleanses you from all unrighteousness. We all need to be washed in the blood of Jesus Christ. There's power in the blood. Bye-bye, everybody.